And now, at this age, I finally understand something I didn't want to see before. Work can't love you back.
I'm 79 years old and I'm sitting alone in my living room as I say this, not in a dramatic way, just alone in the way that happens when life keeps moving forward and people slowly stop being around. I've had a long career, a full calendar for most of my life, and a reputation for being reliable. And now at this age, I finally understand something I didn't want to see before. Work can't love you back. I'm not telling this story because I'm proud of it. I'm telling it because there isn't much time left to pretend I don't know the truth. I don't need forgiveness or praise. I just need to say it out loud once, while I still can. These days, my mornings are quiet. I wake up early out of habit, even though there's nowhere I need to be. My body still thinks there's a schedule. I make coffee the same way I always have. I sit at the same table. Some mornings, I don't speak a single word until the afternoon, and sometimes not even then. That wasn't always the case. There was a time when I was surrounded by people, phone calls, meetings, noise. I thought that meant I mattered. When you're young, you don't think in terms of endings. You think in terms of momentum. I started working in my early 20s, like most people do. I didn't hate my job. That's important to say. I wasn't miserable. I was capable, dependable, and willing to stay late. My supervisors noticed. They trusted me. Promotions came slowly, then faster. Each one felt like proof that I was doing something right. I told myself I was building a life. Back then, being busy felt like being useful. It felt responsible. When I missed a dinner, I had a reason. When I postponed a vacation, there was a deadline. When I came home tired and distracted, I told myself it was temporary. Just this project. Just this quarter. Just until things settled down. They never did. I got married in my late 20s. She was patient. Kinder than I deserved, honestly. In the beginning, she believed me when I said the long hours were for us, for the future. We talked about the house we'd eventually buy, the trips we'd take when work slowed down. I really believed it myself. We had children, two of them. I was there technically. I paid for everything. I showed up when I could. But there's a difference between being present and being available, and I didn't understand that then. I thought love was proven by effort, by sacrifice. I didn't realize I was sacrificing the wrong things. There are moments that replay now, uninvited. A school play I arrived late to, slipping into the back row while everyone else was already clapping. A birthday dinner interrupted by a phone call I had to take. A Sunday afternoon where my son asked if I wanted to throw a ball, and I said maybe later. Later never came. At the time, these felt small, harmless. Life is made of thousands of moments, and missing one didn't seem like a failure. I told myself I was consistent where it counted. I was wrong, but not in a way that was obvious back then. Work rewarded me. That's the dangerous part. Every hour I gave, it gave something back. Praise, security, a sense of control. When things were difficult at home, work felt easier. Clear expectations, clear results. If I worked harder, I felt better. If I worked longer, I felt valuable. No one at the office ever asked me to slow down. As the years went on, the balance shifted quietly. Conversations at home became shorter. My wife stopped asking when I'd be home. She learned not to expect an answer she could rely on. We didn't fight much. That's another thing people misunderstand. The absence of conflict isn't peace. Sometimes it's resignation. By my 40s, I was established, respected. People came to me for answers. I liked that. I won't pretend otherwise. It felt good to be needed, to be the person others depended on. I didn't notice that at home. No one depended on me anymore. They had learned how to function without me. I missed that transition entirely. The cost didn't arrive all at once. It came in quiet ways. Fewer shared jokes, fewer long conversations. I'd come home and talk about my day and realize no one was really listening. Not because they didn't care, but because I hadn't made space for their days and years. My children grew up. That happens whether you're paying attention or not. One day you realize you don't know what music they like or who their friends are. You tell yourself it's normal. Teenagers pull away. That's what people say. I accepted that explanation because it was convenient. I kept working. By the time I retired, I thought I'd finally arrive at the part of life I'd been postponing. I imagined long mornings, conversations, reconnecting. I imagined being appreciated for everything I'd done. What I didn't imagine was how little my absence had changed anything. The world didn't pause when I stopped showing up. My wife and I were already distant by then, polite, familiar. We shared a house, not a life. We tried, briefly, to fix what had eroded over decades. But some things don't respond to effort once they've been neglected for too long. She passed away 6 years ago. Illness. It wasn't sudden, but it was final. I was there at the end. I held her hand. I told her I loved her. I meant it. I always had. But love spoken at the end doesn't carry the same weight as love lived every day. I know that now. After she died, the house felt enormous. Not empty exactly, just quiet in a way I wasn't used to. I expected grief to be loud. It wasn't. It was a dull, constant awareness of all the conversations we'd never have again. All the time I'd assumed we'd get later. Later never came. My children are grown. They have their own lives. We speak occasionally. Holidays, birthdays. They are kind to me, respectful. But there's a distance that feels permanent. I don't blame them. Relationships are built through shared presence, not intention. I wasn't present enough, and intention doesn't age well. Sometimes I look at old photos, office parties, award ceremonies, smiling faces I don't remember well. People who moved on, retired, passed away. The work we did mattered in a way, but it didn't last. It never does. Projects end, companies change names, buildings get sold. What I gave my life to didn't remember me. The turning point wasn't dramatic. There was no single moment where everything became clear. It was more like standing in a room one evening, realizing there was no one left to call, just to talk. No one who knew the full version of me. The professional version was well documented. The human one was thin. That realization stays with you. I can't fix what's gone. I can't go back and attend those dinners or sit on the floor and play longer. I can't show my wife the attention she deserved when she was alive. I can't become someone else now. Time doesn't negotiate. It doesn't offer refunds. All I can do is be honest about what I learned too late. If you're listening to this and you're younger, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I don't know your life. I don't know your pressures. I know that work can feel necessary, even noble. I know providing for others feels like love. Sometimes it is. But I also know this. Work will take everything you give it, and then it will ask for more. It will never notice what you sacrifice to keep showing up. It will never sit beside you when the house is quiet. It will never miss you. People do. Presence is fragile. It doesn't accumulate interest. You can't store it up for later. When you're not there, you're not there. And later has a way of becoming never without announcing itself. I don't hate my career. I don't regret working hard. I regret believing it would take care of me in return. I regret assuming love could wait. If this meant something to you, you don't need to change your life overnight. Just notice where your time goes. Notice who waits for you. That's all. As for me, I take my coffee in the mornings and sit by the window. I think about the life I lived and the one I thought I was building. Some days there's gratitude. Some days there's sorrow. Most days there's both. I don't have many years left. I know that. I'm not afraid of it. I just wish I had understood sooner what was irreplaceable. Work filled my days. People give them meaning. That's the truth as I know it now.